Hello, beautiful friends. This is Crystal Rose Insights, here to do a special video that I felt inspired to do today. It's a theme that's been coming up in a lot of the general readings and in my private readings, and I felt as though I wanted to come and do a special video, a channeled message from the divine collective, basically spirit, on the topic about the divine feminine coming into her power and what that looks like and what that process is like. Because I know many of you on this journey, you know, you hear people saying, and myself included, and readers, like, stepping into your power, just own your power, step into it. But then you're probably thinking in your head, like, what the heck does that mean? Or how do I do that? I don't know how to do that. Well, that's part of the process, and is figuring that out and noticing how that feels. But this is going to be a channeled message, which is just intended to be guidance for some of you that are struggling with that or not knowing what that looks or feels like, what maybe you could be working on, or what the end goal really is in terms of what that looks and feels like. So again, this is just a message coming through through my readings, through my general ones and private ones. So I thought I would do a video here to really explain this concept a little bit further. And then if this is something that you're struggling with and you want to have a dialogue, then I do offer twin flame guidance sessions where we get on Skype and I do basically kind of coaching with you, where we can talk through where you're stuck, what you're struggling with, and actually have that dialogue. So if that is something that you're wanting to do, then certainly reach out to me. The information will be down below. But I have this citrine point here because this is about coming into our power. And the divine feminine holds our power in our sacral chakra. That's really where it emanates from. It's our manifesting power. And many of us have blocks in our sacral chakra, whether that's through belief systems, whether that's through sexual trauma, things that have happened that have caused a block in that area. And so the sacral chakra is extremely important for the divine feminine, especially to make sure it's clear, it's open, the light is getting there. And so the citrine point wanted to be here because it's a beautiful stone to help energize the sacral chakra and to heal it. And you know, we hold a lot of trauma from our past relationships in that chakra. So obviously we go through life, we're going to have some disappointments and pain in relationships, and so that can disrupt the energy flow and the light coming into that particular chakra and cause an imbalance. So that therefore impacts our ability to step fully into our power and manifest. So the citrine point is a beautiful stone for that. And so I'm starting to channel now. I'm going to end up pulling some cards as well. But you know, I think part of why I wanted to do this is because I'm watching this evolution in the collective energy, where a lot of the divine feminines have been shifting into this. Some of you are in this space, and this isn't going to apply to everybody, of course, because you're all at different phases. But this is for the person who it's like you're the. I feel like I'm hearing like you're the rookie of being in your power. You're the beginner. You're on not even the JV team. You're the rookie. You don't even know. You're stepping into it, but you're so new at this because it's so foreign to you that you can fall out of it very quickly. So what do I mean by that? Oftentimes what can happen is that I'm watching some of these divine feminines I'm doing readings for and my clients, and I'm seeing them start to almost catch. It's like the first phase of this is where you get into understanding the concept and feeling like you finally understand what you've been experiencing. It's making sense. Something's really resonating for you. And you're like, okay, good. Like, I know where I'm at, but then you're thinking, what am I supposed to do with this? How am I supposed to move through this? What do I need to do? So you're watching videos, you're trying to understand as much as you can, just because you're trying to wrap your brain around it. But there's also something calling to you, because it's making sense and it is something that is deep. It's stirring something deep within your soul. So I know I have I'm thinking about, I'm going to just give an example of a client I have just to illustrate what I'm talking about. It's like there's someone who's been on the path for a while. They're feeling really good and confident, and then they're getting pulled back in to the doubts and to the fears. Now, there's some things about that. First of all, doubts and fears, it's part of this. We're human. They are going to come up. But the way that I want to describe it to you is what I'm seeing here is an energetic shift that happens with the divine feminine. Is we start off and we're this like rookie here. We're starting off, and here's, if this is like a graph, right? This is to where we're standing in our power, and this is where we're not in our power. It's like we start stepping into our power, and it's so unfamiliar, we go right back to where we were. Or maybe like a little further ahead from where we were. But like, let's say this is the journey towards ascension, right? And we're stepping forward, we're feeling a little more powerful, and then all of a sudden we go back. Because it just doesn't feel normal. It's like, I get this image of, I do biofeedback with clients, and on my biofeedback system, I'm getting the image, this is why I'm sharing it, of a calibration, where it starts to calibrate. It's like it takes some steps forward, and then there's like a resistance, so it pushes you back. It steps forward to calibrate, to tune to you, and then it steps back. And then it slowly, like, eventually, it wins out over here to where it's fully calibrated, and you're fully connected to your power. So, this is going to be for those of you that are sort of on this path where, you know, intellectually, you know that you should be in your power, and you're like, I feel like I'm in my power, but you're really actually not, because it shows up in ways that you might not be conscious of, because this is a lot of the unconscious energies that are coming through to be healed, which is why sometimes it's so frustrating, because like we can think that we're in our power, or we think we're behaving in a way that we're coming from our power, and at the end of the day we're not. This is why obviously working with someone that can reflect these things back to you that you're not seeing in yourself is so vitally important as part of this journey. Nobody does this on their own. Everybody has mentors and spiritual teachers that can support them through this process. It's hard to, you have to have somebody else mirror back those unconscious things so that you can bring them to the light and to be able to be seen and to be cleared and healed. So, you know, you'll start off where in fact, all right, I'm going to give an example. There's one of my clients had a situation come up where they've been in separation for a while from their twin. They've found out some news that, and there's a few of my clients that are in this situation, so I'm kind of, again, probably why I'm feeling the need to do this video. But they've been in separation. They're trusting in this journey. They're starting to learn about getting in their power, trying to let go and just focus on themselves and their work and what they're doing. And then something will happen. So they'll, for example, get a piece of information, or they'll hear something about their twin that'll bring them right back into the fear energy. Immediately goes into like, oh gosh, now everything, it's like this catastrophic, like, oh crap, everything I thought I knew now is just blown up because of the information I just heard. And I'm here to say that that's not always the case. Majority of the time it's not. I can't speak to, I'm speaking generally. But the majority of the time, what that is an example of, it's a test from the universe of how you are staying in your power, and or how quick are you to just topple that tower. Like, it's like you're in your power, spirit is giving you the messages, maybe you've gotten a reading, these clients have gotten readings from me, they're feeling really good, they're in their power, like, yes, you're confirming what I've been feeling, okay, I'm not out of my mind, this is exactly what's happening, I'm good. And then you go off in life, and then something happens. You either hear of something happening with your twin that is, maybe they're still with a karmic, or maybe they are getting engaged to a karmic, or maybe they're having a baby with a karmic. And all of a sudden it just throws you in a tizzy. It kind of knocks you off your socks. But here's why this is happening, and what's important for the divine feminine truly stepping into her power is when you're fully in your power as the divine feminine, that kind of thing, when that happens, it's not fun to hear, but it's not going to change anything in how you're feeling. You're going to be like, all right, well, that sucks, but it's all good. It's all what it's supposed to be. So when you can get to that space, that's where you really know that you're in your power. It's like, but that if your initial reaction is immediate, like panic, that's a sign that there's still more work to be done. And that's what the universe is bringing to you, is a bit of an example of how you step into your power, and then it's going to test you. It always does. And you're going to vacillate. So at the beginning of the journey, you're going to have more times where you're in fear and less times where you're in your power. But as you progress and as you progress and as you practice that vibration more and more of being in your power and being in that divine feminine power, then you will have more and more time. It's like going to reverse the ratio, right? You're going to be more in your power and still have moments of fear, but you're going to ultimately be more in your power. So it's like you're going to come through this whole thing to where it's like you're embodying the full empowerment energy. There's still going to be some moments was when you start the journey, you're mostly in your fear and a little in your power. And then it's like it just starts to shift and transmute, okay? I'm going to start actually pulling some cards to continue this conversation. But like, for example, it was interesting. I had a client reach out to me who has been in separation for a while from their twin, and they, have really been struggling with the fear. They've had a few different readings with me, and of course the energies really haven't changed very much, but that's okay, because sometimes people need to get more readings to just hear it again and again to start believing it. Again, there's nothing wrong in that process. It's part of what Spirit's bringing to you. It's like, when you get the same tarot card 3 times in a row, it's because Spirit's trying to like say it again and again and again so that you really start to absorb the message and the information. But so what happened with this client is she has been in separation, and she's been really working a lot on coming into her power and trusting, and ended up seeing her twin flame, and she hasn't seen him in a long time in person. She was just out randomly doing something and ends up seeing him, and he doesn't see her, but she sees him. And what she did is she saw him, and she decided to like leave. She didn't go and talk to him. She didn't go and say hello. She just left. And was really excited. She sent me an email, and she was really excited because she's like, oh my gosh, I saw him, and I know that as you start to let go and surrender, that the universe will bring you some messages or synchronicities that will show you that you're doing the right thing and you're on the right path. And so she saw that she was in her power. She saw this as, wow, look at how far I've come, look at the work I've been doing, and boom, the universe is giving me a sign. I mean, she hadn't seen this person. She hasn't seen him in, I think it's a year. So here's a beautiful, interesting piece of this, and this is why I'm sharing this story, because it's going to be really helpful. I feel like it's going to be very helpful for many of you watching, is that there's this, so here she was being in her power. The divine feminine, she sees him, doesn't decide to act and do something. She doesn't decide to all of a sudden, oh, now's my chance to go and talk to him. That's kind of a 3D type of a thing, right? She decides that, oh, I see him. I see that as a sign. And it's like her higher self knew that she needed to leave the situation. But then what happened is it ended up getting an email a while later, and it said, oh my gosh, did I do the wrong thing? So she had immediately gone back and triggered into the fear. Okay, and what I'm sharing this, did I do the wrong thing? Should I have stayed? Should I have done this? Da, 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 da. So she immediately went into the fear, which again is part of the process. But here's what's beautiful about it. She didn't even realize that she was being led by the divine and her higher self, her true divine feminine power, when she left the situation without making something happen. Okay? So she's come way further in this journey than she thought she did. But immediately she was pulled into the fear, and did I do something wrong, or should I have done it differently, and did I miss my chance? So, again, I guarantee you're probably watching this video, so I hope you don't mind me using you as an example, but obviously I'm not giving names, but it's such a perfect example of the back and forth and the vacillation of this journey. But here's what I love. She was in her power by leaving and not forcing, not having a conversation. They had some challenged words the last time they had actually been in touch. It was not a pleasant thing, but it was also more of just her being in her power, knowing that she didn't have to force a conversation to move things forward. She was actually on a subconscious level trusting it, but then her head got in the way and suddenly she started thinking, did I do something wrong? Did I mess it up? Did I miss my chance? Okay, so I hope that that's helpful for you guys, because it really is an example of how you'll have those back and forth moments. You'll have those back and forth moments. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So this, the resurgence, like this is the resurgence of a relationship, this new start in love. This is part of what's coming through, is that it's Spirit saying that there's this need to, oh my gosh. Sorry, my phone is ringing and it's distracting me. Okay, where was I? Let me get back into that. Sorry, I had to turn it off because it was already distracting me, and then that distracted me again. Apologize for that. But so what's coming in here is this is really about, this is Divine Feminine standing up for her beliefs. She's just conserving her energy. She's doing her work. She's going to be emerging victorious through this. But this is the balancing. This is the Temperance card. This is about assimilating this new energy of being in her power. Because the Divine Feminine has not, you know, in the evolution towards really embodying the Divine Feminine, to living from that heart consciousness, it's about assimilating the experiences. And soon, over time, you're going to be more and more, see, in this card, it's like pouring the water back and forth. You're tempering the hot and the cold. And so over time, as you temper it, it's like slow. It doesn't all happen quickly. It's not like you wake up one day and all of a sudden, boom, you're there, I'm done. No, you're not done. This doesn't happen that way. But so that's Spirit's way of teaching you this and helping you strengthen that muscle. Because that's what you're really doing, is you're honoring yourself. You're moving forward with honoring yourself in the physical plane. And then at the end, here's just this King of Fire energy too. Which is about, it's about being that leader. It's about being in your power. So he's leading from power, and he's very centered in that energy. And it's like the king is here for his queen. The Queen of Fire is really amazing, but he's here to say, I'm here, and you know, things are changing. When this happens, that this is a sign that things are changing. Okay, so if you notice you're going back and forth, that's a sign that you're changing, because if you've been feeling confident and good, and then all of a sudden you're not, guess what? Before, you were just not feeling as much in your power. So it is a positive sign. Like, look at, instead of looking at, don't judge yourself on it. Definitely don't judge yourself about it, which is what's coming through. Because then we're also getting this Ten of Fire energy, which is just about accepting help, life being out of balance. And so this Ten of Fire is really coming through as just, it's the end of this cycle of, you know, you're at the 6 and the 7 and the 10. You're towards the end of this integration of the feminine energies. Tell me more about this. The Four of Fire. Yes, Four of Wands. So it's all happening for beautiful reasons. This is the marriage card. This is about happiness, peace, abundance, having that stability. And this is about things getting balanced. Okay, the Divine Feminine stepping into her power is really about balancing the scales, because she's been out of her power. It's like I'm getting the image of leaning, like, you know, when someone leans towards you, they lean away, but when you lean back, they come back. It's like creates a vacuum. And so this is right now, by her standing in her power and moving towards standing in her power fully. It's balancing the scales, because here again, victorious, the Star card. This is about you're on the right path, Divine Feminine. Those of you that are working this path and working this journey, you're really, you're doing a good job. You're really starting to hopefully see and feel. the shifts, okay? Because victory is here and you're still not quite seeing it, which is fine that you're not seeing it. And that you can handle anything that comes your way. This is about you feeling like there's, you know, this is what the fears come up. The fears come up around, I'm not going to be able to handle it. But guess what? You now know you can. You're starting to feel like you can handle things that come your way. And, you know, as with every storm, there comes the sunshine at the end of it. Because it's all about connecting to your spirituality and for your ascension. It's just, this is all perfect. It's all perfect. And look, there it is. Gratitude and appreciation. Have appreciation for this journey. Have appreciation for this roller coaster ride we call life and ascension, okay? It's very much a, these are beautiful energies. This is Spirit really wanting to reinforce. Those of you that are in this place that you feel like this is making sense for you, that Spirit's really coming through and saying this is all perfect. It's all happening beautifully. Yeah. So this is reminding you that it's important that to create the sacred space to be able to continue to work through this. Okay, I know a lot of you are doing this. You're taking time in your day to get centered, to get grounded, to connect to that divine feminine power within you. And whenever you're getting into that fear space or that fear energy, the false ego, it's time to center down into that sacred space where you know you have all the signs around you, because this is about taking a risk and putting your heart's desire into action, which is your leap of faith to trusting that this will unfold. And then we're getting purification. So this is part of the purification process. This is detoxing the mind, this is detoxing the body, but also detoxifying the energy field from those energies that are preventing you from being in your power. Again, like I said, with the sacral chakra and the citrine point, really coming from, ooh, that just jumped out. Oh, here we go. Mary Magdalene wanted to just remind you of unconditional love, this love energy. As you're going through this, continue to be in the heart space. Love yourself, others, and every situation, no matter what it looks like on the outside. She's the embodiment of the divine feminine. Her energy is amazing. And go outside. Yeah, if you're feeling, yeah, it helps you get grounded. It helps you get into your space to where you can really, and again, many of you guys are cooped up in storms and winter and all that, and you're just dying to get outside. But get outside even regardless of whether it's cold outside or not. Just being outside in nature, not being around electronics, like all that is going to be very calming to your mind. Yeah, so this is just your time this is reiterating that this is a soul connection happening here. And it's time to sort of disconnect from the world together in the energetic realm, okay? So if you're feeling this anxiousness and these things coming up in the fear, then just get into the energy of you guys kind of coming together energetically without any other distractions. Okay, no matter what's happening around you, remember, just go on this honeymoon with your divine counterpart in the 5D space. Because you've got the power, divine feminine. This is what this entire reading is about. I'm going to end right there because I don't think I can come with a much better conclusion than that. So this is about reminding you, see how she's a young child learning how to walk on her tippy toes on this tightrope. And That's what you're doing. But you do have the power, and this is all about you coming into your power. All right, guys, so those are the messages coming from Spirit for those of you Divine Feminines in that situation. I hope this was helpful. If you do want to talk this through of what you're facing personally, then do reach out. We can schedule a Skype live session to do a Twin Flame Guidance coaching call to apply it to your situation and have more of a dialogue, a two-way dialogue. All right, guys, until next time, in abundant love always. Bye.